What's up, streamers? We're back tonight. I got Big Aaron with me. I always call him Big Al. Big Aaron. Sorry about that, pal. Waiting behind the boards myself. We're gonna do a little Free Talk Friday. Got a couple little things to talk about. Not one issue that we're gonna really focus on. So, first thing I wanted to talk about it. Obviously, it's in the news. Everyone's talking about it. James Comey got fired. And I've heard a lot of Democrats are at odds with this ruling, firing, whatever you want to call it. And honestly, I don't understand why. I mean, they were calling for his head, what was it, early January? No.
They were calling
October.
for it last year as well.
Yeah, they were calling for it in October when he came out the second time. And even in early January, they were saying that he should step down and Trump should get rid of him because, you know, they had lost confidence in him. And the list of people goes on.
And there was a lot of people that said they lost confidence in him.
Now, all of a sudden, he finally gets rid of them. And they're like, oh my God, it's Trump and he's covering up Russian spies. And it's really crazy. So I know I have my personal opinion on it. But I wanted to hear from y'all to see what exactly y'all guys' thought process is on this. Like, do y'all have a problem with Comey being fired, or the time he got fired, or that he got fired by Trump? Like, the combination of things that you're hearing.
I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with him being fired because it seems pretty unanimous that people on both sides of the political lines and people non-political wanted him out. Apparently, he just wasn't doing what should have been done. But the timing is, I don't want to say it's suspicious. It's not really suspicious to me. But Trump really should have thought it through a little better as
I didn't see it that way.
The rating's going to come down on him.
I didn't see it that way. I get that, but I kind of felt it was more like, he was appointed by Obama. He was never an FBI agent. He was never, It's not like he worked his way up to the top. So there was people that didn't want him in the first place, like Rand Paul. Back then, he's not a field agent. He's never run the FBI or even been a part of it. So you want somebody a little bit more in line with those sorts of things. But, I think he was in a hard position to begin with. I don't think anytime you look at somebody who is as big as maybe Hillary Clinton and having to take on a case like that in the political arena that it is going to be good for anybody. I just think it's going to be bad. However, when Trump decided to keep him at first, I thought, wow, I kind of thought it was a little bit benevolent of him. Why shake up the basket until I assess the situation and kind of figure out what's going on around me, right?
Yeah.
And because there's some people that he didn't fire at all and just kind of, you're going to let it ride out and whatever. And Sally Yates and stuff like that. He left it be until his stuff was appointed, but had to fire her, for whatever that fiasco. And so I don't necessarily see that as, well, he waited and the timing is weird. I kind of felt that, no, this came up from, what's his name, Rosenthal, his assistant AG, up through
Rosenstein, that's it.
Rosenstein?
Something like that.
That was the recommendation. So he's doing what his advisors.
And that's the deputy attorney general.
And it came up that way. He assesses. That's his boss. That's Comey's boss.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And then went to Sessions. Then
correct.
To Trump.
And then to Trump. And so he's going to do what his advisors and the people that he's put in place, and this is their job, and he's going to rely on them. That's what presidents are supposed to do. He doesn't run the whole world like you think they does, but he took their advice and he fired him. But I mean, they didn't have that intel on him. They didn't make an assessment.
So,
maybe they're assessing all of the FBI. I don't know. But he politicized the FBI a bit. And I don't know if there's a way that he could have not done that in this situation. But at the end of the day, I think on both sides, he's just seen it. Republicans are cheering for him, and then they're hating him, and Democrats are cheering and then hating him. It did get political, and it's best, I think, for everyone to just start fresh.
Sever the ties.
Yeah, sever the ties, not defame him or deface him, thank you for your service and all that, and just kind of let it go and kind of move forward from this, and they said, I think
Rosenstein.
Thank you. Said that it doesn't affect any of the current investigations because that's done by actual agents and not the head of the FBI.
So that leads me to another question. Now, I have a lot of the intelligence on this part, but one of the questions I find myself asking, and I look around, is this a DC issue, like a DC news story, or is it really a USA news story? Like, does really any, like, does people in Omaha, Nebraska, all these places,
Like, who does it really affect?
like, who's really giving a shit? Like, who knew James Comey before any of this? Who knew the last FBI
like,
director?
who was the last director of the FBI before?
Or was it
James
only
Comey?
because
I've
Trump?
only heard Hoover.
Yeah, right.
And the one that Nixon fired. I've heard of him. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
And Bill Clinton fired his one too when he
yeah,
took
Bill,
office.
well,
I mean,
rightfully so.
I'm not saying that. I mean, this is not a wild occurrence or
Yeah.
something bizarre, right?
Well,
It's not
Well,
out of
Bill
the
Clinton
ordinary.
was the last person to fire theirs. Well, no, he didn't even fire him. He asked him to step down or whatever, because the guy was like stealing money. Something about he's paying for like a $300,000 house, and so yeah, you know,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
not
just
doing what
saying
you're supposed to be doing. Paid for like a fence around his yard, and you know, I
think some
yeah.
other shady things.
yeah.
I'm
So
just saying,
I
like,
get that,
other
and the
than-
Nixon one was because this guy. Nixon was it was dirty. He was trying to fire the guy that was investigating Watergate.
That's what people were comparing it to. That's why it's so scandalous to a lot of people, is because they're comparing it to Watergate. But at the same time,
It's not even close.
It's not at all. It's not even similar to Watergate.
Well, the thing about this, and I keep hearing, the fucking Russia,
Oh,
like off on a tangent. When you go up 95,
yes.
Right?
I was meaning
Did
to
you
tell
see the
that.
billboard?
There's a huge billboard that says like 95 leads to, and it's
no,
got
no,
a picture of
it's like the
Capitol or
fastest.
something.
95 is the fastest way to, and it says DC, and then crossed out.
It's got
And
a
it says
picture.
Moscow.
Yeah, and like big red letters. You're like, really?
You're like, come on, like give up this whole.
Where's that
fucking,
at? Northbound or southbound?
Going north from here. It's
Okay.
before you
have to
put like
watch
last
for it.
box or whatever. Yeah.
I have to watch for it.
Yeah, I have to watch for it. I saw that and I about like wrecked. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's like, come
And
on,
it's like,
give
it's
up
like
on
you
this
wanna put a little
narrative.
sign, be like, well, thank God, Trump won.
But
with
no,
all our connections.
here's what I got to say about that whole idea. Because what's her name? Waters. She came out and she's like, I don't have a problem with him being fired. I have the problem with him, the timing of it. Like if he would have done it in the beginning, and it's like no, because
Maxine Waters?
yeah,
She's crazy.
well, of course, but to someone who's not really thinking about it, if you just heard what she's saying, you'd be like, "Oh, that makes sense." Yeah. Why didn't he fire him in the when he first took office, and why is he firing him now? This Russian allegations. It's gonna, it looks bad on him. It doesn't pass the smell test, and most people will just read that and go, "Yeah."
Well,
Right?
yeah, but it says right in the letter of his
Well,
resignation.
hold on. But at the same time, if he would have fired him straight out the gate,
That
the
was
investigation
real.
was already going on. It's going on since July.
Yeah.
So they've been talking about this Russian conspiracy forever. So if he would have straight out fired him,
That I think would have looked more fishy.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. People would have thought it was more suspicious because he's just, as soon as he has the ability,
Yeah.
get him out.
and he's already went on and said he's not investigating Trump.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
So on top of that, the same person, Maxine Waters, said, now if it would have been Hillary, she would have got rid of him day one, and with the stuff that he did to her, it would have made sense and would have been justified. And it's like, wait a minute, you can't say, for one, whether or not they were investigating Trump or the Russian activity or whatever.
they're not finished investigating her.
Well, hold on. Just because they fired James Comey doesn't mean any investigation stops. He wasn't the one crunching the numbers, and
He's not a field
and
agent.
yeah, he didn't learn Russia and Russian. So he's not the one. He's just he's the director. That's it.
Yeah.
He might have some sway and judgment or whatever, but he's not actually the guy doing it. So if there's an investigation going on, there's still an investigation going on.
Now,
For one, but hold on, if you're going to say that it would have been fine for Hillary, what about like you were about to say, her investigations? And she got plenty more than Trump does.
Yeah, it's not over.
Yeah, she got her emails, she got her
The snatching
foundation.
of the phones, the foundation is still under investigation through Texas.
Yeah, there's quite a few things.
Unfortunately for her, it's like, man, ugh.
And
how do you get yourself in that much?
they're calling a lot of foul on this. But
See what you're saying? They're basically saying it wouldn't have been a foul if Hillary did it. And it's like,
well, yeah, come on, it's totally crazy.
it's a little one-sided.
But at the same time, so okay, they don't like Trump. That's a given. I don't even have to talk about that.
Yeah, Maxine Waters is putting together a thing for his impeachment.
Yeah.
Impeachment.
Jeff Sessions, they don't like him.
We haven't even gotten to. Hadn't even gotten inaugurated yet, and she was already like, "How are we going to impeach him?" It's like,
Yeah.
Has he done anything?
Yeah.
What did he do? Like that just delegitimizes anything you're going to bring because you put a target on him for a personal vendetta.
It's a total witch hunt.
Yeah.
But you already know that they don't like Trump. It's not a secret. Whatever. Move along. Sessions, you know they don't like him. Now this the deputy attorney general, who we were talking about, he was actually bipartisanly voted in 96-4. Both sides loved him. And he was the one who, if you read his paper for why he wanted the resignation of James Comey or for him to be fired, and it was just, and he wasn't like, Trump made the call.
Yeah.
You know, Trump was going to fire him probably if they both said no, keep him. You know, but they backed it up with enough findings, and Sessions just pretty much diverted to the findings of the other guy, the deputy. But he references like every other deputy attorney general and other attorney generals in the past, and they all say that he broke pretty much the law and he wasn't doing a good job, and that the FBI in the public arena is not looked upon favorably anymore.
Correct.
So if they're all saying this, Democratic ones, Republican ones, everyone's in agreement here. What's the issue? You know, it doesn't even
I heard
matter.
a ton of field agents, like the actual FBI agents, that are putting in hours and hours and hours, and I mean, this is, you know, a lot of them, it's their life dream, you know.
Well, I mean,
they were
there's also
living
reports that some
they're looking like jerks. You know, all their work is kind of being flushed because no matter what they say, it's going to be some political something, and they're like, man, this is not what I got into this for. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
well, it should never have been politicized, and
correct.
Trump even said that he's out there trying to be a star. You know, and that wasn't his duty. That's not what he's there for.
Correct.
A lot of the stuff should, and I agree. Now, I liked it because maybe it had some help on Trump. You know, I voted for Trump. That last little bit of information, but the first bit wasn't right. You know,
well,
and I don't want to get off on a tangent, just talk about it, the whole Hillary's crap with it. But he's made way too many press conferences, and the FBI director's not supposed to talk about any investigation.
no, I mean, that was alarming to me. That's why it's like I can't even name another one other than, unless like Bill Clinton, because it came up as something specific or severe, because otherwise they're in the background doing what they do and investigating and the hard stuff, the ugly stuff that, you know, goes up. And to see this person and know his name and I can pick him out of a lineup, like, that's wild to me that you're like, should not be. There's some things that should not be in front of a TV screen. Like, no, I don't.
It's an investigation for a reason.
Yes.
It's supposed to be private and thorough.
Even if you're saying that, hey, we found nothing on this person, it still puts doubt in the mind of people.
Well, okay, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say they found something on Trump, right? Would you believe them? As a Trump supporter, most Trump supporters are like, you guys are crazy and this is just politicized because you politicize everything.
Yeah,
it's really damaged overall.
Yeah.
Right? It would be harder to
unless you could really find me some, you know, goods.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you'd have a really hard time at this point because of the politicization overall.
Just on the Russian
side
standpoint, if they came out and found something else, then I'd be like, okay, like if him and Israel were doing backdoor deals, or him and somebody else, I'd be like, okay, I'm all ears.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't know if
you know, I still don't understand the whole Flynn thing.
Is even, right? I don't know, right? Like that's what I'm saying is that when you politicize something like that, it works in your favor, it backfires or whatever. It's just bad.
Well, everything comes off as a witch hunt now.
Yeah,
you know,
it's bad for everybody.
But
based on that, it's definitely for the best that he's out, because the FBI shouldn't be politicized. They should be subjective and do what they're supposed to do and
they turn it
enforce
over
the law.
to your, AG, and then let them handle those things. And I know that during his Congress hearing, he said something about Loretta Lynch. He was throwing her under the bus. about it. And so it's just like, dude, that's something that you would have to, I don't know what you would do in that position as the head of the FBI.
No.
If this was an issue, then maybe you would throw it out there, but I still wouldn't bring up anything to do with the case as much as I might bring a case against my AG, right?
No.
Because that's what you do. You investigate things. And that would have blown up in the news and gone somewhere else. But all of this back and forth, it's very political, and you're like, I don't want to see any of that, right? I want an investigation to be clean. I want it to be as unbiased as possible, and let's get to the facts and move on. So I don't disagree with it, and I kind of feel sorry for him. Like, ugh, you're
At
right
the
now.
end of the day, mostly the Democrats, but even some of the Republicans, it has made them look so bad and petty and crazy.
Yeah.
Like, because they're directly going against everything they've already said.
Yeah.
Which is on tape. It's all over the news.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
You
not
wanted
that
this guy
long ago.
out. You can't now go, well, I wanted him out when I wanted him out, now when somebody else wanted. Like, that
The things
that doesn't pass the smell test.
the things that he did wrong that you didn't like didn't go away.
Yeah.
They still happened.
So
Right. I think it's better for everybody. I mean,
we're in agreement there.
all right.
One of the other things, I wanted to talk, I don't know if any of y'all even seen this yet. Did y'all hear about the mass hack and ransomware going on? It's going on. I think it's touched 99 countries right now,
Okay.
and it's some type of ransomware. I don't know a lot about computers. Obviously that's why I'm not on the other side of the table. But apparently, it freezes your screen, right? And you have to pay money to unlock it. Something like $300 in Bitcoin to an unknown supplier. And so apparently,
Like a Nigerian prince, right?
yeah,
Right. That email.
I've had one on my phone pop up. It's like a pop up just on my iPhone, and it says Apple alert, you have been hacked. So it tells you you've been hacked, but it looks like it's from Apple, and then it'll say you need to update your credit card information so we can fix it. And it looks very convincing, to someone who doesn't know any better. They do, oh yeah, well, Apple needs to confirm it's me. Yeah, we put it in here.
well,
I got one
it's,
from Google a while back. Maybe it was the same thing, and so I called Google directly.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, really? Yeah, okay. And I
and
called I looked up and called them, and
Yeah.
it was just like, and they're like, no, that wasn't us. Ignore it, and we'll fix it. And I was like,
yeah.
thank you.
I mean, the way it's designed, it looks just like an alert from them.
I always just
Yeah, mine do
pass
too.
by all the
yeah.
alerts. I don't even care. My phone dies, it dies.
But the one I have,
blame it on porn or something.
the one I have, it just freezes the whole internet. You have to close it out, lock your phone.
Well, no.
and
So
close
this
it.
ransomware, it disables everything.
Yeah.
So and it didn't hit civilians.
I've heard
and
of those,
And this is the
but-
big thing. This is the biggest one since 2008. When that one touched over, I think they said, 200 countries and affected 20 million computers or something.
Oh my gosh.
Right now, it's in 99 countries and it's affected somewhere around 100,000 computers. But it's not going after civilians. It's going after the infrastructure, banks, hospitals, government places. Apparently there were some railroad systems in Germany messed up. They hit some government agencies in Russia.
It's pretty troubling because you usually don't think about that. You just think, man, I can't check my emails today. But
Yeah.
if it goes after your
Well-
power grid or something like that, it's-
Yeah, and the thing that caught me is okay, yeah, I guess you could run some crazy train wreckage. You don't get, because it's a ransom and it'll show you how much time you have left, and if it gets past a certain time, it doubles the money that you have to pay for the ransom, and yeah, and if not after that, you've lost all your files and everything.
just
Yeah.
dumps it basically.
Yeah, not only dumps it, but
Crashes.
you need to get a whole new system. But the crazy thing about this is that they're saying that it was engineered from the United States' CIA or NSA.
Oh, I did see something about that. It's from the monitoring system.
Yeah,
Right.
the system that some stone.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember. It's just one organization. They released some type of capabilities that
On accident?
it was about a week or two ago that they
They released it on accident on how to do something?
maybe.
Because I saw a report on that.
I don't know that they did it on accident.
I thought they released it as a freeware or something for computers to be able to do something.
the way I read it.
I thought they like released some codes or something on accident.
The way I read
Out
it
there,
was
it wasn't
more
on
so like a WikiLeaks dump. It wasn't from WikiLeaks.
Right.
It was from this other organization, but just saying like this is what the NSA is using and trying to do. Like this is how they get backdoor into Microsoft and Windows, right? And that's how they would hack into other infrastructures. So what they did is release it to the public, and within 2 weeks, other hackers.
That's pretty reckless, though.
Yes.
How could you not think, hey, somebody might use this for something really horrible?
Oh, maybe you didn't give a shit.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But
if you're trying to,
I'm not going to sit here and argue whether or not like these people meant to do it.
if you
not
call
to
out
do
the
it.
NSA for being dicks for doing it, you wouldn't think, hey, maybe somebody worse will get it.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll be.
But apparently they did give the routine or the code or whatever
out intentionally.
and it apparently like because it encrypts everything, and only the user has the key, right? So that's why in like the government agencies are telling businesses or whoever gets infected, pay the ransom. And I was like, that's crazy. Like pay the ransom.
That's
like,
next level.
You're fucked,
Dang.
buddy. That's what they just told you. You're fucked.
Okay, wait. So you're telling me that all these businesses, the agencies, don't have a hard drive connected to their crap? That all their stuff is better? Like, fine, take today. Whatever.
Well, no, it disables everything. You will never be able to use your computer again. They have took over everything.
No offense, but I mean, a computer is relatively cheap, and so is a hard drive that's not connected to your computer, that you can back up everything, and it's not...
Like, if you
part
go
of
onto
the system.
Drudge, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4,
No,
5,
you
6,
get what I'm saying, right? Like, there are ways to kind
7 different...
Yeah,
of
but
safeguard yourself in a way.
not really, because if the program is, what's the word?
Okay, hold on.
If it's good enough, it can get in.
If you if you have a separate hard drive and you plug it in at the end of the night, back up everything and unplug it.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't.
Who
You
does
would-
that?
That's what you're supposed to do. That's why you
Who
have it
does that?
separate outside
I
of
did
your
that in high school
computer.
when I cared.
I'm just saying that's what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do. You're
Yeah,
supposed to
you're right.
unplug it so if it fries, your hard drive does not. So that's why I was like, you're telling me that they're too lazy to like. Don't they tell you that? Oh, we're gonna save energy and save the world. Unplug your coffee pot. Like, it's the same concept.
Yeah.
You turn it off. You unplug things. That's what you're supposed to do with the hard drive to keep it safe. So it's not online. It's not live.
Yeah.
So that's what was like blowing my mind, that it's like you don't have some main hard drive that holds the day's
Well,
stuff. You might lose today, and you might have to get a new, $700 machine, but all of your stuff would pop up.
I'm sure you
So
would
that's
think
like-
about that and do that in advance after it's happened to you once.
I'm just saying.
Because
Well-
most people wouldn't think to do that, but after you've been hacked once, you'll do it, but they'll never hack you again.
Like, my brother's put on seminars where he showed people, not like how to hack people, but how unsecure
How easy it is.
their software is.
Yeah.
That's how he would sell them, like
Watch
the
those
software. Yeah, and he would go in there and just fucking wreak havoc, and then go, "You want my software?" It's like that's almost just as bad, right? But
Yeah.
you paid me to come out and give you
Yeah.
this advice. You can tell me to go fuck off, but I might not undo everything. You know?
I'm just saying, it just seems like if I had all this important stuff, I would just take such better care of it than just let it hang.
But I
out
mean, if
there.
it's something like
But
infrastructure, like power grids, trains, whatever,
Whether they hit
you
hospitals?
need it to run right now. You don't not worried about the
but
data. You're gonna
I'm
lose.
just thinking, I would
Yeah.
think that you
And when
have
can you
multiple
back up a
backup
hospital?
systems.
Because like apparently, whatever they did, it messed up X-ray machines.
Probably,
A lot of the like scan machines. I don't know what the hell they're called.
yeah.
And I don't remember
MRI
what it's saying.
machines and CAT scans, all that crap.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. But anyways.
Well, the sad thing though is that they were telling people unless it's an absolutely dire emergency, do not come to the hospital. That's how bad their shit was fucked up. And it's like, could you imagine? Like, it's only a broken arm. Or it's only a flesh wound.
Just stay home.
What's up, Shamers? Welcome back. We had some technical difficulties. Apparently, we got hit too. It's called the WannaCry or Wanna Decryptor. So we paid the 300 in Bitcoin. They thought we were the Land O'Lakes infrastructure. So thanks to this asshole, he named my hard drive Land O'Lakes infrastructure, being funny. They thought we were the corporation, and they didn't believe us, so we had to pay it. So thanks for not backing us up, honey,
You're welcome.
on our hard drive. that doesn't exist. No, anyways, no, we had some bullshit technical difficulties, but we were talking about the ransomware and how it was like fucking up hospitals and trains in Germany and things of that nature. I'm not sure if we were done with that subject. I think we were right there on the tail end. At the end of the day, it's crazy. It really is. And I guess that's where people say things like WikiLeaks and different type of leaks that come out can really be dangerous.
It's kind of scary to me that it's progressed this far with programming and code. There is something that you really can't just turn it off.
Yeah. And I didn't think about it until I just said that. Could that be like an inside job? To get, because you know that they want to get rid of, not establishments, but organizations like WikiLeaks. And the other one that I was trying to think of earlier was shadow brokers. And if, they always say the false flag or whatever.
Talking about like that would prove that it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous. We got to shut, these type of entities down by hitting 99 different countries and possibly more. They're saying all the reports that it's going to go further. This is just the beginning. So
yeah, that'd be a way to really grab people's attention in a way that really affects them, and not just one city. I mean, if 99 countries, then it's a lot of people that are going to say, "No, this is screwing with me." And
like you say, you pull at the heartstrings of people, like the Syria gassing, whether it was them or not. You hear about little kids dying, you're like, oh my gosh.
People not being able to go to the hospital.
People not being able to go to the hospital, that would make you think a certain way. I don't know. Just float that in your heads, people, as this more information comes out and more...
Try to stay subjective about that.
I got one that's slightly on topic, but if you don't mind me interjecting.
Go ahead.
North Carolina, I believe, I guess maybe 2 weeks ago now, passed a law where you can hit a protester that's in the road.
Oh, yeah.
They passed it.
They passed that.
I didn't know they passed it.
People were upset. And people were like, no, you don't understand. Like, there was all types of stories about ambulance drivers, and they're like, what am I supposed to do? And
so an ambulance driver... So an ambulance driver can hit a protester. Can I hit a protester?
Yeah.
Like, I heard...
No. You can't go out of your way to hit them. You can't gun it.
They can't swerve.
Right?
I understand. I can't Nice France it. But... Yeah. That's fucked up. Too early. Anyways,
it was almost a year ago. Go ahead.
Yeah, whatever.
It's coming up this summer. Yeah.
Anyways, but if they're blocking, I gotta go to work.
Yeah, I gotta go.
So I'm gonna put in work.
Yeah, they need to move because this is not.
I'm buying a truck next week.
You're protected. You're protected. It's called a lorry. If you want to.
What's a lorry?
A truck. It's called a lorry overseas. It's called a lorry. American, no, you can't do that. But if a lorry, then it's, that's fine. It's fine, right? Isn't that what they said about the Nice thing? Like, oh, trucks and lorries. Never mind. Forget it.
No, I have no idea what the hell.
You ever heard of a lorry? That's what they call it in England.
I had a few chicks named...
Enough. Look, the point is that there's people that are upset. Well, people are going to get hurt. But look, you are, it's a violation of our constitutional right to protest, and it's like, no, you still have every right to do that. And
but get the fuck out of my way.
In the thing, you can't
do it on the side of the road.
Correct. There's a spot, like when you say I'm going to have a protest, they block that stuff off for you. And so nobody's getting hurt. As long as it's peaceful, the police are there to protect both the businesses and you.
And you do it
I remember when that bill came to like somebody was writing it or something, and everybody was like, there's no fucking way.
No.
It's funny. I agree with you, but nobody thought that was going to pass. That passed.
It passed.
So I might move to North Carolina.
People are excited.
It's too hot.
And buy a truck.
It's not any hotter than here. It's
too hot here.
Oh, boo. Shave.
It is pretty fucking... Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I was 80 pounds lighter and...
Shave it all, everything.
Can they write a bill about trash cans?
What is the deal? Why do they hate trash cans?
I keep bringing it up, but protesters...
Think about those poor workers. Oh, yeah. The poor workers at Waste Management and County Recycling and all these places, they gotta go and replace all those trash. You know how much money that is? like you just went from getting your trash picked up in the city from being like $10 a month or included in your rent to like $100. Like,
let's be honest here. Well, let's be honest here.
Crazy.
Those people aren't protesters. They're vandals.
They're minimal hooligans. On the top, they're terrorists.
Well, yeah. Antifa is a terrorist group.
I would agree. I mean,
Portions of Black Lives Matter is. I'm not going to say the whole organization. That there's some things that it's not.
I'd say it's a small portion, but it's the loudest portion.
Which is unfortunate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it ruins the whole thing.
It ruins any point that you're trying to make, or any kind of advancement you're trying to make, or any come-ups. You know, I mean, it ruins it for everybody. And but yeah, it did pass. So it made me think of hospitals, and it's like, well, there was a lot of during the protests that were going on in North Carolina for the
Ferguson?
That's another state.
Is it?
Nice try. Oh, come on, the guy, he was in his car and his wife. They had the whole video of the whole thing.
Oh, and you live streamed
was it Lamar?
Fidel? No.
That was Lamar or something. Anyways.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm really
I'm
sorry.
Sure the viewers
I'm sorry that I can't pull his name out. I had it in my head and it...
The Castile dude.
No, that was somewhere else.
That was Midwest, I think.
Yeah, dude.
Well, that had one. That was the girlfriend.
And they rioted in Charlotte. Don't you remember? Anyways, regardless. Moving on. So they started rioting and they were, tearing up downtown Charlotte, like Charlotte, North Carolina. Anyways, they went out into the road and there was a report. Now I don't know if it's true, right? They could have been lying as well. But there was like a Facebook post or something that got really big and circulated that they were an ambulance driver. And it's just like I don't have anything to do with whatever you're doing. But you now have to explain to a 4-year-old kid why her dad died in the back of my truck.
Yeah.
Right? Like in the back of my ambulance. And
That's
was
true.
like shakingly mad.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I mean, that could be a lie. I don't know. But
the
it's one of those
protesters
things
should
that,
have the decency. I mean, if you're blocking somebody getting to work,
I don't understand why they would want to block the road.
No, I mean, if you're blocking somebody going to work, that's asinine.
Well, they're not working to begin with, so why let somebody else?
No, but that's so much different than blocking an ambulance. If there's an ambulance, get the fuck out of the way. I don't care what you're doing. If you're in the road doing something important, still get the hell out of the way.
Me going to work's fucking important.
Yes, but it's different than an ambulance or a fire truck or a police officer.
Yeah,
Things
it's
like
a little
that.
difference because that's the motherfucker you're going to be calling when I run your ass over.
I see what you're saying.
What if you're an ambulance driver trying to get to your ambulance because they don't park them at home?
Yeah.
So, therefore, you're both right that it could go anyway, right? Like, no, dude, I
don't give a shit if I'm mopping toilets.
Or what if that's a doctor that's on their way to do a crazy surgery? Like, you don't know who's in the car.
Yeah, I would like
don't
them.
know.
I would like them to get out of the way.
Don't protest in the road.
Yeah.
Please don't. Just don't. Just don't protest in the road. I don't want to see anybody get hit either. I'm a little shocked it passed, but I understand it as well as a much of a little bit like, look, you want to protest, that's one thing, but let's have a little bit of law and order to this, and not obstruct traffic because but you can't gun it. You can't mow them down. You can't go out of your way to hit somebody. That will get you in big trouble. But the law did pass that you can.
No, I didn't say start
keep
counting
going
points.
with the flow of traffic.
20 points.
So,
How much is
speaking
a
of-
protester? And they got a mask.
So speaking of hospital things, I just want to let you know that was a little thing that did pass. So,
Sweet.
anyways, what else you got over there? What else?
Well, okay, so
Fun Fridays. Here we go.
I like Free Talk Fridays because you just get to fucking talk.
It's just weird crap that I've read this. What?
I mean, I read a lot of weird shit. There was like a crazy squid thing that
Washed up on the beach?
Yeah, on the beach in Indonesia.
Indonesia or something? Oh yeah, that thing was yucky.
Yeah.
Looking.
Like unknown species?
Yeah, they weren't sure what it was. They called it a giant squid thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, it's up today. You can find a picture.
Yeah,
it's on your
there's
homepage.
pictures. Check it out. It's fucking weird looking.
So, anyways.
But yeah, I mean, there's all types of shit that you can find to really talk about. But so I think it might have been you this morning that I was talking to about how there's a university graduating. Their graduating class is going to be desegregated.
No, segregated. Not
Segregated.
desegregated.
Yeah, segregated. Sorry.
Harvard.
Harvard.
I believe
yeah.
it's Harvard is having. They said in the efforts of progressivism or something like that, we're going to have a segregated graduations, and so the blacks and the whites are going to have 2 separate graduations.
Okay, so, and I also heard today from somebody else, and I haven't verified this, but I was like, holy shit, I was just talking about something kind of like that. There's a spot up in D.C. where it's now a no-go zone for, like, white people. Like, not like white people just don't go there, but, like, it's no whites allowed.
Like a city ordinance or something?
What's that?
It's like a city ordinance or something?
For this block or this area, that, like, no whites are allowed. And it's, like, permitted. And I'm like, and I even asked him, I'm like, are you kidding me?
You want to go on a road trip tomorrow?
Hell no! I know where not to stick my head.
I don't
and it's a glory
understand. I don't understand that this whole thing. I mean, I know they were arguing about
but
it.
yeah, that's what I wanted to get on.
Like last summer, they were arguing about that. They wanted they wanted to have their own dormitory, so they had.
Well, Missouri, the state of Missouri, not the state of Missouri, but University of Missouri.
Oh, Mizzou. That whole nonsense.
Has had a lot of
issues.
Stuff. There's been they just had one. Where was it? Where if they didn't get like the ransom demand that they were going to stay in this one spot, and the university ended up caving and gave them like every demand that they asked for, and then they came back with more demands.
That's what people do. That's why you don't negotiate with terrorists.
But that's also what Trump said. You
George
don't pay
Bush
off.
line.
Yeah,
that's a George Bush line. Like, we don't negotiate with terrorists. That's just what you do.
So
maybe it was Reagan. I don't remember. But anyways, it's a pretty good plan. You know.
Yeah, it was
you
Reagan.
call the parents and go, sorry,
right.
sorry, your son's gonna go out in history because we're not negotiating with terrorists. Right?
Yeah.
You just don't.
But
it just never.
You kind of have to accept it, because if they give back your son, how many more are they going to kidnap?
Right.
They go from one.
No, they just continues on.
it's collateral damage.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
But what I was getting on is just like this idea of segregation.
How can they justify? Like, what are they saying to justify resegregation as progressive? Like,
I think it's a plot. I think it's a plan to put them backwards. I mean, you think about civil rights leaders, you think about, Martin Luther King, and
So you think there's somebody whispering in the ear like, hey, this is a good idea?
Yeah, I think so. Like, oh, you guys deserve this, and you guys deserve
but
that.
people aren't that stupid.
And then
Really?
they're going to...
There's a whole bunch of them doing it.
Yeah. I mean, you got college... I mean, they're college kids.
Yeah.
But they joke about,
I mean, college kids are very...
It's all leftist,
they're impressionable.
and it's all commie run, and I mean, you hear that kind of like, I guess...
Yeah.
Right.
Don't get me started on that topic.
Right, that's coming. But anyways, so... I think it's a ploy, right? Like, it's better to be separate, right? And it's like you're just like in the face of everything that everybody did before you.
When I heard these,
like, why?
When I heard these two things, and then I think in my head this third thing about how like monuments in different cities, especially New Orleans, is being torn down.
Virginia.
Yeah, in Richmond.
Stone Mountain.
Yeah, everywhere.
Hear about that?
What, in Georgia?
Yeah, they're trying to destroy Stone Mountain.
Why?
Because it has Confederate generals on it. They're talking about just blowing it up.
The place is beautiful.
I know.
It's gorgeous. I've been there. It's awesome.
That's a national attraction. People go there.
Yeah.
And they spend money.
It's like, they generate
it's like
an income.
Mount Rushmore for the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, and it's like, I'm not saying that, all these Confederate soldiers or whatever, you can think whatever you want about the Confederate flag. I don't really want to get into that topic. But at the end of the day, if you try to erase history, you forget history.
Yeah, it's a beautiful...
If you don't know history, because a lot of the things that are said about a lot of these people is only somewhat accurate.
Yeah. Right?
So if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And it's like, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, I can only imagine when Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, like, you pretty much are spinning in their face. Yes, we got a statue for them, but you're spinning in their face like you pretty much said, we want to sit at the back of the bus.
Yeah.
Like, that's the craziest shit I've ever
Well, they're saying
heard.
they wanted to ride their own bus.
But that's the thing.
But
they
I
had
want
their
my
own
own
bus to
fountain.
begin with. They had their own everything,
Yeah.
but that wasn't good.
'Cause
And
it
I
was
agree.
crappy.
You see the pictures and it
Yeah.
sucked.
But why
right?
would you want to
So now you want it again, but
de-assimilate? I don't even know if that's a
it's-
word.
Yeah.
I think so. They just want to separate, and you're like, so then you think in your head, 20, 30 years from now, are we going to have the civil rights movement all over again like they did in the 60s?
So the one question that I asked myself was like, I'm sure everybody's heard the saying before. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, right? So okay, so you had all this, your own, I guess, secludedness of
Your so-called separate but equal.
Well,
Man.
nice one.
That was an alarm. Sorry.
That you're around, I guess, your peers per
Right.
se, but
And
you wanted to be, you wanted to assimilate into other cultures. You wanted to mix.
you wanted to be
Well,
included.
and
Yeah.
other people wanted that too.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
fine.
let's do this together and be Americans. And I don't understand why you would go, nah.
I see what you're saying. It's because they're seeing now that it's not,
It wasn't any different. Like, you didn't get anything special out of
Well,
the deal.
I think that
It's just as bad over here, guys. Like,
I think the first generation that got desegregated hated it, but they were saying we're doing it for progress because we're all getting, called racial slurs and getting beat on, and nobody's getting along. But it's in name progress because our kids will get along better. And
well, they did it wrong.
and
Well, technically,
Well,
our
yes.
generation is the next generation after
yeah,
that.
and for your generation, I think it went pretty well overall. I mean, it could be leaps and bounds better, but it's going all right.
Yeah, but I think it's because of what's being fed.
Yeah, the
whether
narrative.
it's
But now people
whether it's now it's black culture, you're appropriating. Where it's
Yeah.
like we were all trying to have one culture. We were all trying to have an
Yeah.
American culture
and now
together.
they think they're losing their culture.
And well, if you dress like this or you do this, and rather than it being, well, that's environmental, this is what I grew up around, this is what I see, so I want to look like the kids at school or whatever, right? Now it's like, well, it's appropriation. Now they turned it against you that you want to be like each other, and it's like, well, but it's way more awesome that way. It's so much more awesome to do it together. It's so much more fun. But I just can't even imagine going backwards in time.
Yeah. I think
just
that
don't
they
get
just
it.
imagined it was going to be so perfect that when it wasn't perfect, now suddenly people are thinking maybe it was better. Because the people that were actually segregated and such are dying off, and then there's people not telling stories because, like you said, the history isn't being taught right.
Yeah.
It's not really being.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at kids getting off a school bus today, and it's a variety. It's a variety, right? And it's not any. It wasn't any one over the other. It was about equal in variety of kids, and you're like, look at that. That's like perfect, right? In this perfect world that you're trying to build and make it better and get along better and teach manners and values and all these things. That you're supposed to be doing, and then you see stuff like that on the news where it's like, well, we're gonna segregate this and we're gonna segregate that, and you're saying there's a no white zone, and it's like, well, how long before you're gonna have no black zones? And it's like, well, they're racist.
Well,
It's like, no,
that's
you're
what-
racist,
well,
and it's just gonna create this
That was my next point.
head
Like,
of
how could
repeating,
you
and, oh,
could you
man.
imagine if white people started to call for that?
If there was a no black zone, or a no minority zone, or a no anything zone.
Yeah, just an all-white area. I mean, could you imagine the backlash of that?
Yeah, I can.
See, I don't see why
I
people-
can see it.
I don't see why people are calling for either because I don't want to know an all white zone.
I don't either.
I don't know who wants that. I don't understand.
I don't want any zones.
Yeah. Let's just. Right?
I don't want war zones, danger zones, like none of them zones. There's no good zones.
No,
No, we end up in the Hunger Games.
I agree.
Yeah, but it turns them all against each other. And that's the whole point is to have us all
Well,
against
that's
each
what I'm
other.
saying at the beginning. It was like,
Yeah.
I think that's the point. I think it's engineered to
Yeah.
try to convince people, especially because they're young, right? I mean, a lot of this stuff you're talking about on college campuses, that has really been ramping up. And, and I guess coming from the generation, like hearing the stories of my dad, you know, and you're like, we got bused to the other school and getting beat up all the time. He's like, well, you know, it was a rough time for everybody, and just kind of like whatever about it, right? Like,
I gotta say, for as smart as college kids think they are, they're dumb as shit.
Who convinced you that after 12 years of school you were still too stupid to make it in the world? So you need to spend all this money to go do more shit, to go do more school. We didn't complete it in the 12 years that we had you. So we're gonna need you to spend $100,000 to really get up there. And all they do is end up in debt. They end up unemployable.
Well, I think
it's a mess.
A large part of that is that when you're done with school, you feel like you didn't learn shit. I feel like I didn't learn diddly squat in school. I mean, everything I learned about history that actually matters is stuff that I watched.
Well, you got Common Core or No Child Left Behind. And,
yeah, you don't learn anything.
Wait a minute. As soon as the government gets involved in your school system,
you don't learn anything.
No.
Everything that I learned that I feel like actually matters is I learned from talking to people outside of school or reading books or watching TV shows,
experience.
Yeah.
By talking to other people
of
colors and cultures and tell me about it. Tell me about your perspective on how did you get to this way of thinking? Oh my goodness, what a novel idea, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, working in a grocery store, I've met so many kinds of people that I probably wouldn't have met in college. I would have just met a bunch of people, you know, partying and crap.
Well, I
would have met different people, but
when I went to college,
but if you didn't think the way they like. You being a little more of a right-leaner
they probably wouldn't have talked to me.
Yeah, you've been ostracized pretty quickly.
Well, it depends on what department you go into.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when I went, part of the problem, and I see this a lot, is that the requirements, right? Like, there's these requirements to go into your particular field. Like, you know, they didn't have gender studies when I was going, you know, they did, but it wasn't one of the requirements. Now a lot of schools is requiring you to go to this. It's requiring you to go to these.
The hell's a gender study?
It's like, why is that? I'm going to be, you know, do physics.
Computer programming.
Why does that matter? Like, yeah, I don't even talk to people in my profession, right?
At the end of the day,
I'm going to be an engineer. I'm not talking to people.
What the hell's a gender study?
I thought there were no genders. Right?
No, I mean, at the end of the day,
like, this never ends.
I understand that there's like 186 pronouns to call people, which is ludicrous. In some areas, you can actually like be charged for calling somebody the wrong pronoun.
Yeah.
Then we should also have name tags. Right? Did you see?
That's how we all become it.
Well, okay, hold on.
Like we were just a number, just.
They'll make a new word. Hello, split.
Yeah.
How are you, split?
Well, apparently because you've given 18-year-olds who you didn't teach for 12 years to diddly poop, but apparently they all have snappy comebacks. So when the college professors of some of these places now are like, what would you like to be referred to as? The list is ridiculous. Your Majesty, I'm an attack helicopter. It's great. It's like, I'm Pepe, a lot of Harambe's. It goes on, and it's like, and they're bound to do this. And you have to know as an adult looking at these kids, like, if my kid said that, like, I suddenly want to be referred to as, you know, I don't know, tree leaf bumblebee, I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
No, go sit down.
Hey, it's too soon to talk about Harambe.
Sorry, right? Sorry. So anyway, in the I believe it's the UK, they've made it so that you can now identify as different ethnicities.
Ethnicities?
Ethnicities,
oh,
yes. So there's a guy with a petition. He's trying to sign up 20,000 people as Kekistani. Praise Kek. So I guess you guys don't know that meme.
The hell's a Kakistani?
Never mind. I can't explain it to you. Look it up, okay? Get some internet humor about you, fellas. Come on. Yeah. So anyway,
I was wondering if you say Klingon or something.
And I died. I was like, that's amazing.
It's just like how you...
Top Kek. There we go.
Is it Ben Shapiro that did the lecture about you can't identify as a different age or whatever? Did you see that?
You can't identify as a different age.
Well, he was saying that there was a girl that was asking him questions, and she was saying like... well, if I were to identify as a boy, who are you to say I'm not? It's like, well, you're a girl, so you're not. And she said, and he said, how old are you? She said, 20 or whatever. Why aren't you 30? And she was like, but why can't you be 30? You said you can be a boy, why can't you be 30? And it's like, I mean,
it just doesn't end. That's the
well, no,
point,
it's like
you know?
the thing with transgender doesn't bother me. If you want to be a guy or a girl, do your shit. But when you want to be all the different things, that's too much. I mean,
Well, it just doesn't stop.
it's not realistic.
No, the whole transgender idea is asinine.
No, I think there's basis to that, because if you have a hormone issue and you feel like you're the other gender and you feel like that's what you want to be comfortable in life, whatever, I don't care.
I know, I'm not saying...
Like at an adult age, I'm like, yeah, you do you. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying
I
don't...
like for them to wait till after puberty, just to be sure.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can't get a tattoo before you're 18 for a reason, because you might change your mind. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna like
You change your mind,
Justin
like...
Bieber on, like, on your butt cheek. You might like that at 12.
Man, how'd you know?
I'm saying, but at 18, you might be like, no,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So there's a reason why they don't let you do that kind
Yeah.
of stuff until later, and I really wish
I agree.
they'd stick
There
to
should
that.
become some kind of law or regulation that says, I mean, if you want to identify as that, but you can't have the surgery or anything.
Yeah, please wait. Like, please,
Yeah.
like, look, I know there's a struggle. I know you're thinking in your head, like, I get it. And I'm not trying to oppress you, but please wait until you're finished doing what your body's going to do.
Yeah.
Because you can't
So I
change
wonder,
it.
what would that do to you if you were a guy who changed into a girl, and then when you were older, you're like, man, I'm just going through a phase.
You commit suicide. If you look at the suicide rate of the transgender community, it's very high.
Yeah. And
Especially the people that decide at an early age. Like, I seen a crazy stat. It's like 70% of people from the age of 14 to 17 nowadays have questions of what their sexuality is.
That's normal.
70%? Like, what kind of questions are they thinking? Like, is the dude like, do I want to suck a dick or not? Like, is he really thinking that? Or is he like, I don't know.
I think with hormones and different stuff, and they go up and down. They get the angry and the teenage angst. I mean, that's what made Spider-Man famous, right? His angsty comebacks and whatnot. And you have tomboy girls, right? And you have a little bit more effeminate boys, but they're still dudes. They're still dudes, and they grow up to be dudes and good dads, and they like that they can sew and bake, and it's fine, right? It's okay. That's great. That's what you do.
I can cook my ass off. Don't make me a chick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that it's totally normal to maybe question or waffle a little bit, especially when you have these hormones, because you don't know. I don't know. I've never kissed somebody. How do I know which one? I don't know, right? I don't know. But you see somebody, wow, I really like this person. So it wouldn't surprise me on like that little kind of fleeting thought of.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, how much
know.
of the thought is when they throw 70? That's a large number.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially when the total population of transgender is like 0.06.
Yeah, but
No,
obviously
obviously
we don't know what questions they ask these teenagers.
obviously the 70% total goes into, are they straight, are they gay, are they transgender, are they this, whatever. So
And we don't know what questions were asked specifically. 'Cause
Yeah.
but I would imagine that a lot of kids, if it was anonymous, would say, well, yeah, because they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah.
They might go, first time you're changing in a girl's locker room about 7th grade, you notice the chick with boobs if you don't have any. Like, you're like, whoa. And then you're like, am I gay because I want to look at her? But it's more of like a scientific, like, am I going to look like that? Like, when's this going to happen? You have all these questions. Who are you going to
how
ask?
the hell did a girl dick that big?
Right. They're like, where did you get all that hair? Do I get that much hair? Like, you don't understand genetics and how this is all going. I mean, who really sits
Mine's
down
not that
in
big.
your health class and talks about actual genetics of what you will be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take a good look at your parents and your family line. It's going to be something like that. Something similar, probably nothing crazy.
My dad was hairy and I'm not, so.
Right. I'm just saying a good general idea. But you don't have those conversations. It's very like sex and this and that and scientific and penises and vulvas and all that kind of mess. And so I don't think they address those other questions that would make you go, oh man, am I gay because I just looked at that dude's dick, right? But it just like he was changing and I saw it and then I had to be like, whoa, because that doesn't look like mine. And I think that's very normal for kids to be like, whoa, that's not what I look like. So yeah, I want to look at this other person for comparison. But then they go, oh, does that make me gay? Because I checked out this person. Like, I think that's normal depending on whatever the questions were of the survey that you read. I would think that's a normal thought
I
process.
definitely knew I was attracted to females. You know? And I guess maybe when I was younger, I was like, maybe, I don't know. But I do know that once a dude tried to suck me off, and I was like, no, I was pretty confident that I did not want any dick.
That you're good.
I'm good on the dick.
Got your own, happy
Got my
with
own.
it. Right.
But anyways, the whole transgender thing, yeah, they're teaching it to like 5-year-olds, and like a 5-year-old would know. Like it's like
They
no.
really don't.
Well, that's what I've said in the past.
Babies are babies. Cute baby. You know what I mean? Cute kid. They could have long hair, short hair. I don't know. Maybe it's a girl, but she got loose with some scissors and the bubble gum. I don't know. But your kid's cute. They're cute. They're all pretty and they're all cute.
But
and they all
the
just kinda look
outcry
alike.
of this, like, it's more of a.
I think it's more the parents. And
Well,
then,
no,
like,
it's more of a fad now.
I think
it's-
so, and it's sad.
It's like everybody wants to be like gay or a transgender, or you don't know who I am or what I am, just to say the shit. And it's like, no, come on now, like
You
the
think they're diluting it
0.1
from like the actual real cases where people have issues?
yeah, the 0.06% of the population. There's a lot of like you see a bull dyke, and if it went and pissed in your bathroom, you're like. You're not even, like, that bitch will walk by you and you're not even thinking.
But we're adults. I think that's where people draw the line that there's an argument here. I don't actually think it's the adult version.
Well, yeah,
it's
but
the kids version that upsets
there's
people.
this lot of, we get to pee in whatever bathroom. And I know it goes into, like, pedophilia and other stuff, the scares of that. But just the idea, like, you hear all these other people that, they'll be straight and they'll argue this fact and it's like, shut up. Because you could have had a dude walking by you for years and didn't really care or recognized it.
Correct.
I know I've pissed beside chicks. Right? But it's like, that's a butch. Whatever. You're in the right place. Right? So, I don't think most people look at it that way. Now, if a chick or thing, whatever you want to fucking call it, walks in with like a skirt, looks like a chick, and I'm sitting there with my schlong out, I don't feel a little weird. Like, what are you doing in here?
I
Right?
agree.
And the transgender community, like, you see all types of videos where, like, just because I dress like this and I wear makeup and I wear dresses, doesn't mean I'm not a boy. And it's like, you got female parts and you're dressing like a chick. You're a fucking chick. You're just delusional.
Yeah. I agree with the bathroom thing, where if you look like a dude, go to the bathroom with dudes. If you look like a girl, go to the bathroom with girls. But with the thing you said about it being a fad, I think the main part that maybe you see differently than I do is that people in my generation just want to show that they support people that are gay more. So that's why they talk about it so much, because they're
It's a fad.
There was a dude who
Like, people
said he was
used to-
fulfilling his 8-year-old's dream of being a drag queen. There's some actual sexual connotations to that expression of being a drag queen.
Yeah.
And he dressed his 8-year-old little boy all up in makeup. I mean, we're talking like going out for the night, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, the kid's 8. It's just they're kids. They're not even sexual beings. They don't have that capacity.
I mean,
And that drives me bananas.
that is pretty strange, and that made
Well, that's
me,
why I think it's
that
coming
made
to
me
that fad
uncomfortable.
stuff, because you kind of see
Yeah.
these things and you're like, they're a little. Just let them be
Yeah.
a kid. Just let them do whatever they're gonna do, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, just let it go through the course, and they'll sort it out, and just be supportive, and that's cool.
I mean, like, when I was younger, like, I don't know, like middle school age, I never really met any gay people. Or, I guess I had, but, we were young. We, like you said, we weren't sexualized yet. We didn't really have our sexual identities. I had a couple people friends that ended up being gay, but I didn't know they were gay. And so I was like, oh, I never met one. Like, what is it like? Like, what's a gay person like? But then once I met them, there's people. And
Well, okay. So some gay people are like you and I, and you like I've had a lot of, I'm gonna say acquaintances, because none of them were like my best buds or anything, but they hung out with my friends or whatever. And a lot of times when they came out of the closet, they're like, Yeah, I had you pegged. Didn't it sound like you
It's like
dislike
now
the
you go get a
person?
beer.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
It's like
care.
a big moment for them, and you're like, yeah, we knew that. You ready
Yeah.
to go get a beer now? You done? Let's
Yeah,
go.
you done having this heartwarming conversation. Whatever. You know, I've hung out with many gay people. You know, and it's whatever. But the whole, it's like, it's so cool it's in. Like, I see a lot of people thinking like that's the cool thing, and it's like, it's the cool thing now to swing both ways, and it's because maybe it's so acceptable that people just get to be freaks and just fuck whatever they want.
It's because the reason it's such an open topic right now is because they've just reached the point where they feel like they can be free. And some people are taking it too far and just taking it out into the left field of things that have nothing to do with accepting people's sexuality.
Oh, okay, so explain how somebody that dresses like a chick, wears makeup like a chick, is technically biologically a chick.
Yeah.
How can she be a dude?
Well, I wasn't talking about that. I don't agree with that at all because...
But then
it's not that I don't agree with it. It's that I don't.
That's why in my last
understand.
video I didn't say anything about the transgender community, because obviously I got some feelings toward that one. My whiteness is showing.
I mean,
Yeah.
transgenders
Straight
don't bother
privilege.
me.
My straight privilege.
I just don't necessarily understand it, but I don't have to because I don't want to be transgender because my hormones tell me I'm a dude. I mean, I have.
So do your bones.
Huh. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I had explained this to my kid that I was like,
I
all right,
agree.
look, we can dance around this with Bill Nye and his sex junk and stupid video and all that mess. We can play this game. In 100 years from now, when an archaeologist digs up your body, they're gonna go male, female.
Yeah.
The end. That we're done with this conversation. There is no changing.
You can put
that.
all the makeup on you want.
You can change your outside.
You are
parts.
what you are.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just what it is, right? And I'm like, and it's fine. You can dress like whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. That's
Yeah.
cool. But I do notice that the argument seems to be more tendered toward when there's an argument, it's kids. Like, let them finish growing and that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I actually kind of more agree with that. But,
It's like-
and at the end of the day, if that's still what you decide to do, awesome.
Exactly.
We'll go shopping. I love it.
Exactly.
But, that's all right.
I agree
Breaking
with
things.
You can get a soda if you
about
want.
all that. But with all the discussion about transgender and the gay community and the bi community and everything else and how they identify, I think the major problem is that the people that aren't accepting are extremely not accepting, and the people that want you to accept it are shoving it down your throat, including with
I think there's radicals
with
on
kids.
both. On both.
And the radicals are the
sides.
problem. The radicals of both. If people who don't understand it would just be like, all right, you do what you do, go ahead. And the people that are radically in favor
Or
of it
supportive.
would calm down and just let people decide what they want to be for themselves and let them live their life.
What happens is, okay, so you do have it. You have it like taught in schools and shit now.
Yeah.
Right. You see this whole dialogue like it's now being pushed onto people. So like, if my kid decided he wanted to be a chick, like I've said many times before, it would make Thanksgiving a little different. I'd still love him, or her, or it, or whatever the fuck, right? But it's not like I would disown him.
Yeah.
But the thought process that I don't think kids are being able to make their own decisions, which makes that.
I think
the
I
issue.
agree with you on it's like a parent fad.
Yeah.
I want to be supportive of this, so let me turn my kid into this so that I can show how supportive I am. And it's like, well,
Well, not just
are
that,
you
like-
letting your kid make their own decision?
You see you
You
see it
know,
all
I
over
don't
the
know.
place. And well, as a parent, like I would tell my kid, hey, like 15, 16 years old, hey, I'm having these weird thoughts, whatever. I think I want to. Okay, well, when you're 18 and gone and you're off on your own, you can do whatever you want.
Be with who you want to be. Do what you want to do.
Don't try to make this decision now. Don't tell people, because there's, and you can look it up and people will be like, oh, that's so wrong. You won't let your kid be who they are. And it's like, kids fucking change, man. Like, for instance, we know somebody that in 1 year is wearing leather and lace and lipstick and nail polish, right? all golfed out. Now he's like hip hop, like wearing Jordans and leggings and whatever them fucking pants are. Like, obviously, what he thought was cool and what he wanted to be like changed.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to heavy metal, and then I listened to hip hop, and then I've listened to like a lot of different stuff.
Well, I've definitely been through that because I went through a phase of liking like heavy metal and the hip hop, and then like crappy pop music briefly. And then
Everybody loves a little bit of pop music, and if you don't, you're lying to yourself.
That's the reason why it's called pop, meaning popular.
It's catchy, not good.
Yeah.
But you do go through phases. But with what you were saying about it being a parental fad, that I don't think that's a transgender or bi, gay community
No,
issue.
I don't think it's the community. I think
that's a parental issue. It's no different than anything else. You need to quit shoving stuff down your kids' throat. You need to teach them facts about life and teach them morals and let them decide how the hell they want to live.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at. That I
Yeah.
think it's being like really, like kind of a fad, and it's like you can be supportive, but and that's my question. I'm not even. It's like I'm trying so hard not to judge other parents, you know. But you're like, are you?
I'll judge
doing
the shit
that?
out of them for you.
Are you letting the child develop? Are you letting them?
Yeah.
Or are you forcing all this? Or, you know, because you want this or you want that. And that's the part I just don't agree with. It's like, no, dude, you got to let your kids do what they're going to do and be who they're going to be. And I'm all for that. I mean, that's the way we were raised and coming up, and just let people be who they're going to be and help them out along the way and whatever. And I just feel like it's you know, there's parents out there that are just kind of taking this a little too far.
Yeah.
And then they're saying, well, I'm letting my kid be who they want to be. They want to be a girl. They want to be a boy. And it's like, but they're a kid. They don't even have a sexuality yet. Like, we're not even close to having anything going on in that direction, right? We should still be they all look alike, right? I mean, anyways.
Yeah.
Moving on. What else we got?
I could keep going.
Let's move on to topics. What do you
Well,
got?
I want to make sure that I clarify that, like, I don't dislike, you know,
People,
gays
yeah, I get it.
or transgender people. I just
I agree
more so the narrative
Yeah, I agree with Aaron. I don't think it's their community
and the
specifically.
I don't like the
as much as-
whole pronoun thing. Like,
It
you know,
seems
you
like
walk like a
something
duck,
wrong.
you quack like a duck. I'm gonna call you a duck.
Well, it gets
Don't bitch
weird.
at me.
It gets weird, I think, because it's like, well,
You know, I call
I
a
don't
bitch a
want to
bitch.
I want to be fluid and be what I want to be, but then you're willing to spend all this money and mutilate your body to be something different that you're like, well, I want to be a woman. Well, I thought you said you wanted to not be a woman. You wanted to be Zer. Which one is it? Are you like, so I think there's
What's
a
a
little...
Zer?
That's one of the pronouns, is a Zer.
What's it mean though?
It's the pronoun for that person, basically.
Instead of he or she, it's Zer. So you're not labeling
You're not
them.
sir.
But then they'll want to get a change to definitely be the other thing, and you're like, well, then you do want to be a she or a he, or you know what I mean? Like,
But
that just gets crazy to me with the pronouns.
how do you? Okay,
I don't
so
get it.
I don't understand the concept of getting mad about it though. Like, I've heard cases of, like, people, how don't assume my whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I've had one of those situations because there's a guy that I went to school with who, when I went to school with him, he was a guy. I knew him as a guy. So when he came in the store, I said, "How you doing, sir?" I wasn't being a dick. I wasn't being rude. I was just trying to say hello. And unbeknownst to me, he is transgender, and he's going through the process of hormone treatment and such, and he's becoming a woman. And she was extremely offended. And I mean, I kind of felt bad because I was like, man, I didn't know. But at the same time, you shouldn't be so angry with me because
Could you tell?
that later. No, but I didn't really think too hard into it because it didn't look any different than before.
okay,
I mean,
so
he was dressed in. Thinking back, he was wearing tight, feminine style clothing. So
well,
yes,
you look at okay, so
Well, there's
Young
gay guys
Thug.
that do that too. And
Yeah, I mean,
other
there's
dudes-
rappers that wear dresses nowadays. Like, Young Thug, like, I mean, so
it's just like if you feel offended by the pronoun I use for you, that's fine, and say I am a woman because I've mistakenly called men women, women men at work. Say, how you doing, sir? Oh, sorry, long day. You know, just say I'm a woman. That's fine, but don't get.
I think we
all
could
pissed
get
at
a
me.
lot farther with, and I think that's that whole PC culture. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. I feel
Fuck that.
similar with
fuck
the.
that. No, like, No.
Hold on, I was talking.
Sorry.
I feel the same with like the Merry Christmas issue.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You so do you.
Yeah, well, I say it to everybody. I'll get on the microphone and yell, "Merry Christmas!" in the middle of the store. I don't care.
well, it's one of those things that it's like, I mean it as a sense of goodwill.
To me, it's not me being like, "Oh, you don't celebrate Christmas, man." No, it's just me being polite.
I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to be
like
friendly.
saying it's best wishes, except you say it around Christmas. That's all it is.
And and I think that people are like, "Oh, I don't celebrate Christmas." So it's like, well, Merry whatever you do,
Happy
and I hope
holidays.
you're happy.
Have a good Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's like I mean it in a general sense of respect.
If I'm saying Merry Christmas, I'm not saying it in a rude way. I'm saying Merry Christmas.
Right, but I think trying to
You love Jesus.
Yeah, no. But I think
I'm not doing
trying to address people appropriately, show respect, it's degrading respect. Because you're like, I'm trying to show you respect, you're here, you're a customer, or whatever, wherever you are, and then I made you upset, and it's like, I'm just trying to be respectful.
Yeah, it just made me want to be like, well, get the hell out of here. I'm sorry.
And I think that's a problem. I think a lot of people could be less offended and just tell me what you want.
Yes.
And I will accommodate.
Not a mind reader.
But I can't, I don't know. I don't know.
That's why the Saturday Night Live, I think it was, Skit Pat was so funny because no one knew what to call it. It was like, hey.
And everybody's waiting to see what bathroom it goes into.
Oh, wasn't that like 15, 20 years ago or something like
that?
Yeah. That was the funniest thing about it.
Yeah, so like,
hey,
I've come across a few of those in retail.
I've been mistaken for a boy.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And I don't, ma'am, sir, any of that crap. I'm just like, hey.
No, I mean,
and wait for a clue.
The way I was raised, it feels disrespectful to not address specifically.
Yeah.
Right? And so for me, that's part of the issue with this is that it's like, I'm really not trying to offend anybody. I just was raised to say,
I want to be polite to you.
Sir, miss, whatever it is that. And if I make a mistake, I am so sorry. I'm really just trying to give you respect, and so it stinks.
And I see what you're saying, and I've had situations where I'm like,
yeah, like.
But for me specifically, I went to school with this person for 12 years. That you were a guy last time I saw you,
and then sorry. But to get upset, that's the thing.
To be legitimately angry at me.
And they didn't accept your apology? Like, I am so
Did you
sorry.
pronounce yourself walking in and be like, I just want to let everyone know before you say anything that I am now a chick? Then people would be like, all right, chick.
Or refer to me as ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm accommodating.
I mean, if I was friends with her on Facebook and seen, I'd be like, oh, cool. All right. Now I know.
Now I know, right?
Now I won't have any issues, but I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so would that same person have been upset if I would have said it? Probably.
I'm not sure.
I'm glad that didn't happen because I probably would have got fired that day. Because I would have been like, you didn't. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
Well, and especially when now it's just like I'm gender fluid and like you were saying that one girl.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm a boy. Well, how am I supposed to know?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say?
Well, I know a gender fluid person that has a different name both days. And
both days?
I mean,
okay, so
the two different days have different names. And it's like, when they come in, it's like...
So one day it's like Tammy, one day it's Tommy kind of a thing? Like...
Basically. But I'm like...
Right,
like they come in and I start sweating. I'm like, what do I do? Well, what do I say?
Right. And it's like, you can do whatever you want, but please don't be mad at me if I make a mistake. Yeah. I really am sorry. I just want to be respectful.
When he comes up, I'm like, howdy.
But it feels so wrong. It feels so wrong to not say.
I mean, if it's someone I went to school with, it doesn't really, but...
But in general, you know, I think...
How about fucking pick?
Yeah.
Just pick, like...
A lot easier, but...
I mean, I'm not your fucking toy to play with.
Okay.
Like, no, it's asinine.
Well, gender fluidity and being bi, transgender, gay, that stuff doesn't bother me or really confuse me. The one that confuses me is the one with all the funny pronouns. That just confuses the shit out of me. And that's not because I'm being rude, it's just because I am OCD about consistency. Like, when they remake a movie and someone's a different ethnicity or a different gender or a different age or they just wrong color hair, I'm like... That is not right. I watched this movie when I was a kid. You fucked it up, and it's nothing to do with racism or discrimination. Or
in the Harry Potter books, my daughter was watching this today, and in the books they're blonde.
All of them.
The Dursleys, the Petunia, the mom,
Yeah.
is blonde in the book, and so is Dudley, and it drives me bananas. She's not blonde in the movie, and yes, I know you have to pick, and I get it, but it's like. She's supposed to be blonde. And I think it every single time. It's supposed to be blonde.
Speaking of that, though, at the same time, though, I think we were talking about it. That The Rock could fit Captain America.
Yeah.
I thought that when they were going
to do
Captain America
he's a
movie,
black Iron mix or whatever he is.
Is he going to be The Rock? He'd be like the perfect all-American big buff guy, like big smile, perfect teeth. Yeah. I was like, he'd be a great Captain America.
Well, if he was...
It didn't upset me at all.
Captain America, because when it was written, is white, blonde, tall,
yeah,
thin, whatever. But if it was written now as like the all-American, Rock would be perfect.
Well, yeah.
I felt they could dye his hair. He's a little tan, but I was
but dye his hair I felt you could just change that one up.
That'd be good for.
I thought it'd been awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Like I thought it'd been. I was like, oh, are they gonna get The Rock? Like I automatically thought all-American. Like now, right? Like. Yeah. The Rock, dude, be perfect for Captain America.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say to go back with the gender thing, and what it seems to me that they're trying to undo is that the human mind it judges for you. It categorizes things for you for ease of access later. That's just the way it works. Think like a gigantic computer system and files. Your brain works that way. That's the way it does. You can't undo the human mind.
That's why
people automatically you have experiences. It puts it in that file of association of, okay, if I do this again next time, I'm not going to do that, right? Like if you get mugged because you parked your car in a dark spot, chances are you're going to know that and you're not going to do it again. You're going to park under the lamp or something like that, right? Something that's a big one, but little things. This, and it goes into your memory bank for next use. Yeah. So you're going to react instantly off of what you see because your brain is trying to help you out through life by categorizing things for you. When you start throwing the papers around in your head, it's off-putting, and you're like, I don't know what to do.
I'm not shuffling the papers in my head.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I refuse.
That's what makes it tough. On a biological scientific level, your brain automatically files things away for you, and so if you see someone in a dress, you're going to be like, hi, man. Because that's what it is, right? Like, it just...
I'm a dinosaur.
Associate.
It is. It's association because that's what your brain is set up to do for you. But anyways, we've covered that. Next, toss up. What you got? We got some Flakka.
Want to do one more topic?
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy shit right there.
We can end it on some crazy shit.
Okay. It's first I heard about it. I heard about it today. And I don't know how long it's been out. I know there's been other type of things similar, but there's a new synthetic drug out there, similar to the bath salts, the salvia back in the day.
Well, I was reading it's not really new; it's just making a comeback.
It's making a comeback.
Okay,
yeah. It was big in the 60s.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard of about you heard about the Quaaludes.
It was in the first wave of synthetics when the synthetics were big for the first time, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, you think of the 60s and 70s, you think of Quaaludes and LSD, peyote.
The mescaline, the mushrooms and stuff.
Yeah. The good shit.
Mescaline?
The good shit.
Anyways.
But this thing called Flakka.
I think it's Flakka.
Flakka, whatever. Yeah, I seen a couple links today. Somebody was showing it to me, and it's like zombie-like. You see these people out there, and they're just...
It's very reminiscent of the bath salt things a few years ago.
Yeah, where people were eating people's faces and shit.
Like, why would you want to do that to your body?
Well, it's not about doing it, but I like to get drunk. I like to, when I was younger, I smoked some weed. I've done some other things. But I didn't want to be incoherent.
Well, like back in the 90s, they had you fall into a K-hole, right? You do ketamine.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, that's a tranquilizer. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I see.
You're just gonna sit in the corner and drool on yourself. Like, how is that a good time? That's what I'm saying. Like, other than you can have a couple drinks and not even get drunk, be like, oh, I'm feeling buzzed, I'm feeling good, right? Like, a lot of people are attracted to the highs because of the way it makes them feel. If it's making you feel like sitting in a hole and drooling on yourself, or like convulsing like a zombie in the middle of the road,
I'll have to
on this stuff.
I'll put a link in the
That's crazy.
description of this one I seen of this chick in Massachusetts just for like 5 minutes straight.
It looks painful.
Yeah.
Like her body it looks like it hurts, and you're like,
It's like she's contorting.
yeah.
Like
She looks like she was
back
auditioning for the Thriller video.
Yeah,
Just with no
rough.
dance moves.
It looks rough, and you're like, what is that doing?
She seriously looked like a zombie, like brains.
It's wild.
Yeah.
That was a wild video. It was a wild thing to see.
Resident Evil is alive.
So stay away from that stuff,
Well,
kids.
Public service announcement: do not fuck with Flakka. Flakka, whatever the fuck you call it.
The thing that's disturbing about Flakka is it's a designer drug, which means they sell it as a not for consumption, as a bath salt or an incense or an air freshener, and then whenever it gets banned, they just take a little something out of it, throw a little something else in, whatever, to change the ingredients ever so slightly, and then
Yeah, have you ever done
it's
bath
not banned
salts?
anymore. No,
Okay. You ever seen anybody do bath salts?
not around me. No,
I seen it one time and the motherfucker was fucked up.
That's a great explanation. Thank you for that articulate
They try to bite you?
description.
Yeah, it was articulate, but no, that's just the only way he was.
Like mind-blowingly, like, why would you do this?
Like,
Yeah. You want some of this? I was
growling
like,
at
no,
you.
and then I watched them and I was like, no, it was that salvia shit. It wasn't the bath salts. I was like, no.
You know, you can still buy salvia all the place in South Carolina.
Really?
Near Myrtle Beach, like every store you went to on the beachfront, they had it hanging there, and it just said not for consumption.
I know they had the K2.
Yeah,
That was like the fake weed.
yeah.
I know a lot of people that smoked that. They
I
said
had
that
a lot
was
of
bad.
friends doing that in high school, and a couple of them had to go to the hospital.
Really?
Like hearts, palpitations, and stuff.
Fuck.
Again, well, let's just wait till we finish growing. You
How
know
about smoke
before
some
we
real
make
weed?
some of those decisions. Like, man,
Like,
I don't know. I'm a square.
I don't know. So when I was growing up, it was easier to buy weed than it was to get alcohol. So
I think it still is, but you know the Valero that's relatively close to where we work.
Mhm.
You could buy spice there when I was in high school.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and they sold it as an incense.
Wow.
And kids used to, because you know the high schools, 2 minutes from there, they'd pick it up on the way home.
That's wild. I guess kids.
It was probably dirt cheap, wasn't it?
Oh, it was like $6 or $8, I think. A little packet of it, incense.
Wow.
I mean, what's to stop somebody from actually smoking regular incense, though?
I'm sure people try it all the time. I don't imagine it does much other than make you cough and puke.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I mean, the way that stuff smells.
Can you imagine hopping down like a big stick of patchouli or something?
Wow. Okay, I remember Glade hits.
Yeah.
People getting high off of Glade and like aerosol cans.
Yeah, like spray whipped cream too.
Oh, whip it?
That's whip it.
Yeah.
Well, that's only like 30 seconds.
That's like
Some goofy, silly stuff.
you do whippets. You got the little cracker with the CO2.
Now you're gonna teach them how to do drugs.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's the nitrous. I think it is. It's nitrous
Nitrous.
that you're getting high on.
You do
I think
Freon.
that's different than the Glade hits though.
Yeah.
Glade you're getting high off of. Maybe it is the same. It's not as.
No, there's
It's
I
a type
don't
of
think there's
aerosol, right?
nitrous in that.
Well, it has whatever it is. It's shooting.
Whatever.
I think it's the alcohol.
It's the propellant.
content. Yeah, it's the propellant.
And then butane. I know when I was younger that was.
Like in a lighter? Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, you would freeze your lungs if you did it wrong.
Well, you could do that too. They did Freon.
The propane.
Well, I never did any of those, so.
I know that they do propane, butane, freon, all that.
Yeah.
You can get high on any of it. Well, you can get high on just about anything. It seems like anything.
Well, I know motherfuckers said we would sniff like paint thinner.
Anything
They
you're
did
not supposed to
airplane
eat.
glue for those like things that was back in, when like my mom was a kid. They'd get paper bags and huff airplane glue, and then they'd just be like whacked and just have glue all over their face. And she's like, "Oh my god!" Right? I took a course on in our
Like legalize
professor-
marijuana and fuck the rest of the shit.
Yeah,
Like,
but
come
you
on.
would save so many people from overdosing on stupid shit that is easily available that they wouldn't even imagine. Like, nah, this kid wants a bottle of butane. He's just gonna go burn some ants or
He's
something.
like, nah, man. Let's just go to my house with the munchies, right? Like, let's just skip
Grab
it.
the Doritos instead. I got a bag
Doritos
of
and Mountain Dew. Anyways.
cereal.
All right.
Cereal is the best.
Cereal, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was Free Talk Friday. I hope you had a good time. We had a good time.
We're gonna come back though for the primaries are coming up in Virginia.
Yeah,
for the
we're going to
governorship.
talk about the governor's election, which is very important, people.
How about J. Cole running? You see, there's a candidate called J. Cole.
Really? Everybody's going to vote for him.
Where at?
Virginia.
What? There's Corey Stewart and Ed Gillespie and
I'll show you. I
two
got
other
business cards
people
somewhere.
that I can't pull off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I just read something about them, so they were on the forefront of my mind. But anyways, we
Get
got
involved in your local politics,
which
people.
is way more important. It shouldn't be so low of a turnout and so high for the presidency, right? If you want actual less dictatorship.
What, do you want to talk
more
about
evenness.
the subject now, or do you
No.
want to wait?
I just want people to be prepared so when we're talking about it, maybe they've looked up. Maybe they've done some homework.
Get your shit right.
That's right. Anyways,
Eat your spinach and read your politics.
peace out.